Now we're headed back to dry land and the popular motorsport attractions in Hall County. Road Atlanta in Brazelton makes up 30% of the county's tourism engine. Built in the 1970s, Dr. Don Panos bought the racetrack in 1996 and made it the nationally known course it is today.
The Petit Le Mans, powered by Mazda 6, is our ultimate event of the year and one of the premier sports car races internationally. We're very fortunate to be a little sister to the 24 Hours of Le Mans and one of the two great endurance races in the American Le Mans series in the United States. So their series starts with Sebring 12 hours, and near the end of the season ourselves with a 10-hour race or 1,000 miles. We're very pleased at Road Atlanta that one of the things that we're known for is the fan experience and the family atmosphere. We have over time integrated a number of different fan activities that we've seen the sanctioning bodies now take nationally and sometimes internationally. For instance, our grid walk during Petit Le Mans has now been adopted by a number of the series, and they do it around the nation. During Petit Le Mans, our grid just before the race is open to the fans. As long as you're a ticket holder, you can come down and stand actually on the racetrack with the race car, with the driver, with the chief mechanic, and see all that being put together just before the cars go hot and go out racing. So it's an incredible chance to get up close and personal, and you'll see tens of thousands of people down here on the start-finish line, all huddling around, half of them on the cell phone. You can't believe where I am and who I'm next to. So, and it's fun for them because, for instance, the last Petit Le Mans, we had 5 Indy 500 winners. We had any number of past Formula One champions, and so some of the true cream of the driving crop of those drivers still racing internationally today were here for the event, as they will be this year. And so it's great for them to have a chance to get up and close and personal. Also, we take pride in our family friendliness. We allow all ticket holders 12 and under to come in for free. So it makes it a very affordable outing for a family. If you've got a family of 5, you come here, you're paying 2 adult tickets, and the kids are coming in, as long as they're 12 and under, for free. And so that makes it a nice, it eases on the budget some. And at the same point, because it's road racing, people tend to not go sit in a grandstand seat for 10 hours of the race. They tend to make their way around the facility. In the case of the Superbike race, which might only be an hour long, they'll get a chance to see a couple locations. It's something like Petit Le Mans, powered by Mazda 6, where it's 10 hours long. They'll have a chance to go to almost every viewing spot. The kids can run about, go to the fun zone. There's a lot of other activities for the families to do with our manufacturer Midway and so forth, where they can see all the different technology being put to use, and there's video games and all sorts of different fun stuff to do. So it's more than just a racing event, and we like that. People come out and really have a good time and tell their friends about it. We're busy about 340 days a year out here. Some of them are the big events like we've talked about with Petit Le Mans or the AMA Superbike event, Suzuki Challenge, and many are smaller things. From club events where the Porsche Club will come out with their constituents and drive the course for a weekend. Other public events like Drift Atlanta, which is a fun event with the tuner cars, and they're not actually using the whole course, they drift. And if you've seen that, it's just amazing. These guys have incredible car control, and it's like synchronized flying. The historic vehicles that are out here with some of the most beautiful cars you've ever seen, Ferrari 250s to, next to an old NASCAR. I mean, there's all these different wonderful cars from days of old. And any number of other smaller public events like that. We do about 15 public events a year of that ilk or larger. And then we do, with the racing school, they'll be out here 50 to 100 days a year doing different types. What's happening here today is a 3-day racing school where somebody can show up and know nothing about racing and leave the Skip Barber confines 3 days later with a racing license. So there's that, there's club events, there's vehicle launches by some of the major manufacturers some who race in the American Le Mans series like BMW or Audi or Peugeot or so forth, and some who don't will come out here to debut their new cars to the press or to the public or so forth. So there's always something happening at Road Atlanta.
Across Highway 53 from Road Atlanta is Lanier National Speedway, a NASCAR-sanctioned stock car racetrack. What started as a dirt track in 1982 is now Georgia's NASCAR home track, and hosts the NASCAR Wheelin' All-American Series.
Well, the International Speedway was built in 1982. Bud Lundstrom built the Speedway. It was originally built as a dirt track, and then in 1987 it was paved. It became a NASCAR track in 1983 and has remained such through today. And it had attracted named racers from all over the country, and NASCAR people that went on into cup racing that have raced here and got quite a history. This is grassroots racing at its best. This is where the drivers like the Dale Earnhardts, the Bill Elliott's, they started in facilities and tracks just like this across America. That's where they learn their trade. And we run, like I say, we run every week. We run late model cars. Our late model cars look like late models you'd see on the road, very similar to what the old Cup cars look like, nationwide cars look like today. Trucks are small, look like pickup trucks, and we race those. We run a weekly show, and we run every week. We run different divisions: late models, super trucks, and modifieds, legends, bandoleros, and we run that every week. There's a crowd that comes, you know, they're supporting their crowd there and their people, and then we move into the other races where we have our gas races, our 100-lap races there. And then we also host ASA RC Cola Moon Pie Tour here, and they bring in a number of people, and we're getting ready to host a USAR Pro Cup race. That's the old Hooters Pro Cup, and they will be here in just a couple of weeks. So we do autograph sessions where they can get down on the track, meet the drivers, see the cars, and so they can learn who they are. And we try to take that fence, that wall down between the drivers and the fans, so they really get a feel of what's going on. And that's the difference between us and say NASCAR racing at the bigger tracks. We try to get our fans down with our drivers, and they get to meet them and touch them and greet them, and you know, they're real human beings, and that's a little bit different. We bring a lot of people in from around the area, not only Hall County, but surrounding areas throughout the state and the region. And you know, we like tourism. We like the tourists to come to our area, and we like them to come out here on Saturday nights when they're here for their vacation. And you know, we work very closely with the Lanier CVB and with Stacy and Jennifer there, and they're just, you know, tourism is vital to what we do, not only here at the racetrack, but I think to our community as well.